to do, you have to own it in the moment. You have to identify as that. You don't have to say, oh my God, I'm a singer-songwriter. You can say, I'm aspiring this, or, you know, you have to own it in your words and in your mind and in your, how you carry yourself, and it's almost like it makes a switch in how serious you take yourself. So that's number one, is knowing what you want, saying what you want, identifying yourself as who you want, and putting that out there for people to approach you and respect you and receive you a certain way. And then that goes along with what Liquid said about being prepared, being knowledgeable, being informed about your industry, and that's number two. And then you gotta just put the work behind it as well. I think me, like a lot of people, I had these expectations of I need to do certain things by a certain time. I used to literally, this is how ridiculous I was. I used to be like, now at this point in Rihanna's career, when she was 16, she was doing X, Y, Z. I'm like 3 years behind her. You know, like ridiculousness like that. And it's like, when you see people, when you see a Jay-Z, when you see all these things, you're like, it's amazing when you see, and then sometimes on Instagram I see those little memes that say like, Oprah was 56 when she first did this, and I'm like, you really never stop, especially as a creative person. Some people's careers do have caps. At 65 they retire, but if you're just doing something that's entrepreneurship, that's a labor of love, a passion, a creative thing, like there's no timeline to these things. You're creating the timeline, you're remolding yourself, you're adapting, you're still developing yourself as you go along. So as long as you have, like I said, you define yourself, you own your identity, you have a plan, a strategy as to where you're going, and goals to orient you in the right direction. Don't think that you need to do things by a certain time. You just gotta, like I said, plan, and then you adapt as life takes you. One of the things that holds a lot of us back, I'll say the number one thing for most of us, is it's the fear of like money, resources. Like, how can I, what if I, like, we really like derail ourselves before we've even started some of these things, because we're like, well, I have this, and I have bills, and I have rent, and I have kids, and you know, I did have bills, I did have fear, but I kind of just, you know, I planned. Like, I'm a big proponent of planning, and like that's kind of what I help people to do, to organize themselves and their vision. And so I planned, I saved myself a little bit of money so I would have wiggle room to, you know, invest in the things that I wanted to do. But that was the scariest thing for me. You know, things work themselves out, and you figure it out, especially when you don't have a job. You figure stuff out real quickly, like. Right. So yeah, that's how I overcame it, just by planning and having a little strategy of like, how am I going to shift my life and my priorities to enable me to be living the kind of life that I really want to live, and doing what I want to do.